Hello gladiators! I am back for my newest quarterly video. My name is Gretchen. If you, I don't know, forgot who I am like I do on a daily basis, from the channel Betwixt the Books, where I am half of a wonderful buddy channel where we talk about everything with absolutely no consistency. And in order to prove that to you, if you didn't see my last Gladiator video, it was on the top history and political science books that I've read for a challenge that I'm doing, which started as reading one biography about every American president and has turned into like over 100 books and kind of an obsession and part of my PhD. And this time around, I am bringing you totally opposite content by telling you the top 5 romance novels that I've read so far that have come out in 2022 in 2022. So, if you like romance and history and whatever else Michaela and I decide to do, you should come hang out at Betwixt the Books. If you don't like romance, this will not be the video for you, but if you do, I have like a trope for every person and a lot of fun in this video. So let's go. So the first book that I want to talk about is The Last Eligible Millionaire by Pippa Grant. This is a 2022 release, like I said, that I rated 4.5 stars because I used the story graph, and that means you can give half or quarter stars, which is lovely and modes better than Goodreads. And this is your typical grumpy sunshine romance. So there is Hayes, and Hayes is somehow the last eligible billionaire on Earth. That's right, all the rest of them are either too young to get married or are already married. So he is running to this coastal beach house that he owns to try to avoid his mother, who's matchmaking, and his ex-girlfriends who are still trying to get him down. He's just not up for this situation. When he arrives at his beach house, he finds it occupied. There is not supposed to be someone there. Her name is Begonia. She has a dog named Marshmallow who is a failed support dog, and he does not listen to commands at all. Oh, and also when Hayes arrives, Begonia is waxing her lady bits in his bathroom. So both of them are very shocked. Begonia thought that she had the house to herself for a week. Turns out that a nemesis of Hayes was renting his beach house without his permission. So it's a meet something, but you might not want to call it a meet cute. I was absolutely not prepared for the absurdity of that opening scene, but I think saying it to you gives you a flavor of how the rest of the book is going to go. Hayes needs someone to pretend to be dating him to get all these matchmakers off his back, and Begonia's already there, and she thinks Hayes is gonna like sue her or something, so she just goes along with it because as Hayes is a grumpy man, Begonia is total sunshine and, you know, butterflies, and Marshmallow's just an absolute nut of a dog. So it's really silly. It's laugh out loud funny. I wouldn't say the plot is, you know, fantastic. You have to like a billionaire romance, which I can go either way on, but it's worth it, and it got such a high rating from me just because it's so ridiculous. And I have found a lot of Pippa Grant books to be like that, so might be an author you're interested in if you haven't already read her stuff. Skipping away from a contemporary romance, another romance that I have rated 4.5 stars in 2022 is Electric Idol by Katie Roberts. This is book 2 in Katie Roberts's Dark Olympus series. You may have heard of the first one. That was called Neon Gods. That was a dark fantasy romance retelling of Hades and Persephone. Electric Idol is her retelling of Eros and Psyche. I rated this 4.5 stars and Michaela rated it 5. You can actually go see our buddy review of that on our channel if you want to see us duke it out over that half star. I think Michaela's already reread this book like 3 or 4 times this year because it was just such a cute story. Neon Gods is very dark BDSM kind of like, you know, romance. And so we were kind of expecting something similar with Electric Idol. And in this one, it's just cinnamon buns. I mean, Eros also was told to murder Psyche, but he's a cinnamon bun and we don't care. It was very sweet, it was very cute, and this is a series that has Michaela and I really excited for all of the next books. The 3rd book, Wicked Beauty, will be out in July, and you can look forward to another buddy review of that book when it comes out. One of the most interesting contemporary romances that I've read this year that also got a 4.5-star review is Fool Me Once by Ashley Winstead. I did a full arc review of this on my channel, but this is a second chance romance that takes place in Texas between 2 people working for 2 different political teams in Texas politics, trying to get some eco-friendly legislation passed. And I have so many thoughts and feelings on this book, I don't even know where to start, but the main thing to know about this is that the female lead, her name is Lee, and she and Ben dated 5 years ago when they were in college. Lee has had terrible luck in her dating life. Every other person she had dated had cheated on her, and so when Ben started acting weird, she thought he was cheating. She decided to cheat either before he cheated or because he was cheating. Turns out he wasn't cheating, but he found out she had, and so they broke up. And now they're together trying to work on this legislation. There's a lot of feelings, and I also had a lot of feelings. This book says a lot of really interesting things about who romance novels are for, and you know, that people who have done things in their past still can deserve happy endings, even if they don't think so. But I really just need more people to read this book because I still have unresolved questions about the way the plot went and some other stuff. So please go read it and get back to me. Tell me what you thought, because like I said, I think it's one of the most nuanced romance books I've ever tackled, but I still have questions. Someone else read this book and talk to me about it. So I am a huge fan of the author Beth O'Leary, who is potentially most popular for her book, The Flat Share. And when I heard the plot for Fallon Ballard's Lease on Love, I said, this just sounds like a discount The Flat Share. And I really was not super psyched about reading it. I thought, you know, I've already seen this done really well. So the plot here is there is a girl named Sadie, and she is losing her apartment and desperately needs to find a new one. And she lucks into this absolutely magical apartment sharing situation with a guy named Jack, who is thankfully nice to her when she thinks she's made a Tinder date and he thinks she's there to talk about the apartment. So they do not get off on the right foot. It's very awkward. He still invites her to live with him, so it's like a little bit of close proximity / like grumpy sunshine tropes in there. Again, thought The Flat Share had done it better, but I gave this book a chance and I was absolutely rewarded. It was so sweet, and while it does have hints of the plot of The Flat Share, it is its own book. It stands on its own. It's very sweet. There are great side characters. Sadie and Jack are just adorable together, and I really loved it, so I also gave it 4.5 stars. I did a whole arc review of that, so I do recommend, if there are not cards, then to check out my channel and see the whole thing, because it was just really sweet. And we could all use a little bit more sweetness in our lives, quite frankly. It's nice sometimes. So, my final recommendation in this video is actually one of the books I've read most recently, and is the only romance novel that has come out in 2022 that I have rated 5 stars. In fact, it is the only romance novel in all of my reading, and at this point in 2022, I've read 91 books, that I have rated 5 stars. And it is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I very recently did a full review of this book that you can check out. But oh my goodness, it was adorable. If you love romance, if you love books, the book is called Book Lovers, obviously. It is adorable. This is a enemies to lovers story between Nora and Charlie. Nora is a cutthroat literary agent in New York City, and in the opening scene, she tries to pitch one of her clients' books to Charlie, who is known as one of the best editors in the business, and the meeting goes terribly. He passes on the book. Nora decides, because he was rude about her client, that she doesn't like him, and is just not good. Then Nora goes on vacation with her younger sister to this small town. Come to find out, it's Charlie's hometown, and he's there helping his father recover after he has had a stroke. A series of really silly events makes them have to work together to help out the town, and they realize that the other person is not as terrible as they thought. It's a quintessential enemies to lovers story, but especially the last third, it is just so emotional and so cute and so funny. I don't normally want to laugh and cry at the same time as we go towards our happy ending, but that is what this book did for me, and I just loved it. Is it perfect? No, but emotionally for me, 5 stars, absolutely. If any of these books have really touched off your interest, like I said, I did not make a full review for the last eligible billionaire, but the other 4 have ARC reviews or a buddy review on the channel Betwixt the Books, where I am normally to be found posting videos most Mondays. I've gotten my schedule a little bit off because, like I said, I am currently in the process of getting a PhD, and so sometimes I get busy. Life happens. But I totally invite you guys to come hang out there with me and talk romance or history or young adult or translated fiction. We did epic poetry once. You never know. So stop by and see what Michaela and I are up to. And if not, I'll see you guys for my next Gladiator video. Bye!